Hi, good morning, and welcome to my presentation about architecture with art. Today, we're going to talk about how architecture, the field of buildings and stuff, relates with arts, with expressing ourselves. First of all, how do they combine? Architecture is a hybrid of lots of fields, like art, technology, and buildings. And art is a form of human expression that may be shared or and interpreted. Well, you can see here, art is a very expandable field where you can share whatever you want in whatever form, in any form you want. And technology it involves evolution, which means knowing how to program things, as well as buildings. Buildings have evolved and changed throughout time, and now architecture is taking a very big step into making not only buildings but buildings that express uh, that show something more than just utility. For example, this building right here of the sketch, it could be something like a library, for example, but it's more than just a library because it has different shapes and forms and sizes. It has different rectangles. It has windows. It has lots of spaces. That's why it could be a library because it shows an closed area, but that is free at the same time because it looks like it has windows, so it could be something very comfort, comfortable. Then we have examples of different architects throughout time. The first one will be Frank Lloyd Wright. As you can see, it has a building that is very elegant and comfortable. Then we can see Frank Gehry. It has a building that is very artistic and it has lots of shapes that are like papers if you think about it. Then there's there's Hadid, which, as you can see, she made a building that has lots of curves and is very shiny. So it's very artistic and very elegant and for show. Then we have Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, which has a rectangle with lots of windows. It's more like an out in the field building. It's very free. You can see outside. Then we have um, Le Corbusier, which has a building with different sizes and shapes and colors. And as you can see in all these five examples, none of them are the same. All have their perks and their things, and they all show different stuff. They don't try to be the same as the one they saw the other day. They all try to be their own thing, and they all express different things. They all are used for different stuff. And some philosophy that can be used here in architecture is ideas, perspective, and plasmation. First, ideas. First, you need a storm of ideas. What do you want to do? What can you do with that idea? Uh, what elements do you want to have in your work? Then, in perspective, are with those ideas settled, how are you going to make them look good? Because you could make an amalgamation of ideas, but if you give it a good if you give it good proportions, then from every perspective it will be a very good building. And then plasmation. Plasmation is just how is knowing how to implement your sketch and your ideas into the real world, because you can do whatever you want, but if you do that, it maybe will just fall. So yeah, you can express yourself, but try to keep it logical and that it won't fall down. And then there is this philosophy of Oscar Niemeyer that says, "My work is not about form follows function, but form follows beauty, or even better, form follows feminine." And here he tries to tell us it's not just about making a building that serves its purpose of being a library, being a supermarket, being a house, but giving it more, giving it an essence, uh, a speciality, something that makes it pop up. Uh, and even here it says form follows feminine. Feminine things are known to be very stylish and very personal, very unique. So buildings should try to do more, to incline more to that side than to only function. For example, here in locations, we can see in United States, again with Frank Lloyd Wright, he has a building very similar to the one that he just made, that we just saw. Then we have another of Russia from Konstantin Melkinov, Mel, Melnikov, sorry, which is a building, a white building with three columns with three different white blocks. And then we have Glen Mercat, which has two glass rectangles. And they are all have a little similarity, but at the end they all have different elements, different types. They all come from different cultures and different styles of buildings. So they all try to blend in with how they are there, but they all have their own thing. And some things that are like bestsellers, what make a building worth it, are nature and utility. Nature and utility could be nature. Nature could be how you blend in nature elements to a building. For example, that it has wood, that it is comfy, that it's just not only uh, a block of cement and piles of metal, but more, that it blends in with the environment. And utility. We just talked about utility and how it must be more than that. But you cannot let it aside that fully yet. You cannot go fully with artistic elements and forget about utility. You need, at the end of the day, you need utility so that your building serves its purpose not only artistically but uh, with elements in life. Thank you so much for paying attention to this presentation, and yeah, that's it.